So yeah, I just saw the page and everything. I was just like interested in what's like what was the idea behind it, and maybe you could like share some thoughts on it.
All right, man. Okay, truth be told, I started the page in late 2019, early 2020, around there. I created when I was going through basic training. This
Okay.
was in the SPF, by the way.
Yep.
And like, okay, this sounds pretty childish about the time, but I got rejected from OCS, or in police it's known as OCT,
Fair enough. Yeah.
and I got rejected for because of a reason that's beyond my reach. Because I had the best physical and the best
Mental
in
capabilities.
no yeah I had the best physical scores and the best educational scores in my squad.
Okay.
But the thing that prevented me from getting in was because I failed a psych examination.
Right. I see.
So like that thing's like beyond my control. It's not like something I can study for, and I was like pretty effing pissed, bro. Like when I put in all this effort and like this shit happens to me.
Yeah. Fair. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. I can kind of get the idea right now.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'll just let you know that I've got to record this and put this on the channel, and I'll share with you everything like onwards. Like basically, my channel on YouTube is trying to push for more like as you know, right, like living in Singapore, everyone's quite apathetic, apolitical, and like no one really has an opinion on anything. So my kind of vision seeks to change that a bit, get more
Okay.
Singaporeans like interested in politics, in current events, in news, and like things that we would consider as like important to discuss.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe for people who don't really know or understand all these internet terms, right? What is being a doomer? Like, what does that mean?
Okay, just to come clean out, before I explain what a doomer is, I should let you know that I am not a doomer. This is all just an irony thing.
Okay,
But
fair enough.
for those who aren't familiar to the term doomer, it usually refers to a person who's in their, like in their early. No, age isn't necessarily a factor, but the typical image of a doomer is a guy in his early 20s who has no future, a pretty nihilistic, and I would say in a sense pretty depressed.
Okay, because my follow-up
He has
question would
yeah
be like, is a doomer a nihilist? Is that basically what the
yes
term
in a
means?
sense that at that moment of time, a doomer would be a nihilist. He sees nothing in his future. All right, like he sees no point in anything, and he just lives for the day. That's it.
Right. So it is he like a more advanced version of an incel then?
No, I would not say that. Okay, so okay, how do I put this? All right, an incel is a person who is usually okay, I'll put it this way. All right, most incels are doomers, but not all doomers are incels.
Hmm.
All
Fair
right,
enough.
just because a person has nihilistic views on life and all that doesn't mean he has to be a misogynist or in that kind of thing. Because a doomer, he doesn't necessarily have a social life, but it doesn't mean that he can't have a girlfriend or anything like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Whereas incels, those people are basically idiots who grew up without any social interaction. They got no idea how the world works, and in turn, they develop misogynistic views and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you feel that all incels are misogynists, or do you think there's a nuance that
You
exists?
want?
Yeah.
All right. From what I understand is that okay, I noticed this like especially among like the Gen Z audience, especially those on TikTok, like uh, how do I put this? All right, incels in general are misogynistic, but like in boomer humor, where people like to joke that wife bad, that kind of thing.
Mm.
I feel that the new generation of like incels, like the ones you see on TikTok, they are moving to that by saying, "Oh, girlfriend bad," that kind of thing.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, in general, incels are misogynistic. The name incel is derived from the term involuntary celibate,
Yeah.
and being a person of such nature, I'd assume that they would naturally develop a hatred for the opposite sex.
Yeah, I bet. Like as in, I'm sure they must have like grown some sense of entitlement towards like having sex from women and all that. So
Yes.
what about Wojak then? Like what's this Wojak term?
No, okay, so Wojak is just basically, how do I put this, alright? A Wojak is just a normal person, it's just you and me,
Like a
nobody,
normie.
like, nobody identifies as Wojak. A Wojak is like a empty canvas, upon which a person could just paint the picture of a doomer or and so on.
Right. Okay. And then like in regards to all these kind of internet memes and characters that develop, right? Do you believe that there is really a hierarchy between like a chat and a Wojak and an incel?
Like, in real life.
Yeah, in real life.
I mean, there's no such thing, everyone has a little bit of everything in them. But it is easy. I mean, for a person who doesn't go out very often, like, those without any social lives or their lives are just defined by what they see on the internet, it is easy to believe, for them to believe that, humans can be easily subjected to these tiers.
Hmm.
But, I mean, in reality, yes, I wouldn't say there is a social hierarchy or anything that, I would say there is a little bit of elements, let me put this again. There are elements of truth in these memes, but, they're not really obvious when you go out. When you go out with your friends, there's no chat or no incel in your friend group, right? That's straight out like that. Everyone has a little bit of elements of everything in them.
Right. So like the differences are significant but not categorical, I guess.
Yes, you can't immediately put a person under each branch, because these characteristics, even though a person may exhibit them, they do not necessarily need to be a Chad, for instance,
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's that.
And then, in your opinion, right, like in regards to the power imbalance, like we're talking about like social hierarchies and stuff, what do you think is to blame for it? Is it like evolutionary reasons, like why females prefer like taller guys or muscular guys?
Obviously, evolution is a thing, right? Like, I don't know if this is a really sexist take, but there is like the thing where guys prefer wider hips because of
Yeah.
birthing capability.
Hmm.
I mean, like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, taller guys are more attractive in a sense,
Hmm.
because I got no idea how it works, but yeah, I mean, all of these things, there is a subconscious reasoning for these, but
There is. I
in a
was
sense,
yeah.
yeah. You're
Um,
saying?
sorry, but like yeah, I was reading this book by Richard Dawkins. It's called The Selfish Gene. Basically, he was talking about how and why like women's like prefer like guys who are much taller than them, and it's usually because of like survival reasons. Like if you were thinking back into in like those Paleolithic kind of eras and like caveman times, right, where
Right.
guys had to fight for survival and then everything was really primal. Usually, those that had longer limbs were able to run faster, and running faster would predict your survival fitness in a sense. So, because of that, it became very ingrained in their mind that long limbs, tall equals secure, or I feel safe with this person.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's not just about height, like, for example, being a muscular dude, you're obviously going to be more attractive because, being muscular, it doesn't necessarily mean you're stronger, but it gives the illusion that you're
Signify.
stronger.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, if you go back to evolutionary things, like, yeah, being a muscular means there's a better chance that this person will bring back something, better chance this person will survive, and all that. That's why it's just the thing, like, even among athletes, people prefer to date athletes because they're fitter, and being fitter means chances of you being alive, it's the chances of you living longer is higher, that kind of stuff.
Mm. Okay. So like on my channel as well, like creating this new series right now. It's called like SG
Right.
Free Speech. So it's sort of still in the works, but I have like several kind of like social commentators and like I guess people of interest who are coming on the platform as well to kind of like share their views and like this, basically we first start off with an interview and then we get to know each other. We get their positions, their talking points, and like things that they kind of view on their political compass, stuff like that. So basically, after we kind of establish where they are, doesn't matter right, left, far right, we will kind of like just put it on the channel, and then whoever that's interested, it could even be like a fellow subscriber or just a random viewer, they could just email in and then I'll coordinate everyone to come together to like either debate on something that they're interested in, or just to like kind of promote further discourse. Doesn't have to be a debate, could just be like a podcast, a panel or something.
Alright, fair enough.
Yeah. So to start off, then I'll ask you some questions on like your political beliefs, if that's okay.
Alright. Yeah, sure, no worries.
Okay. Do you believe in Chinese privilege?
No, I do not, and I am a minority.
Okay. Do you?
Alright,
Yeah.
should I like explain on it or something?
Sure. If you want to,
Alright,
go
sure.
ahead. Yeah.
Alright, so, I mean, like, I'm Singaporean and not an Indian, alright? Just put that out. And I grew up, I would say that I grew up in like the typical SG thing, local kindergarten, primary school, secondary school.
Yeah.
And like I was from a neighborhood secondary school. And I went to poly, went to NS, and here I mean, yeah, maybe I skipped out the local uni part, but here I am.
Right.
So I would say that my friend group has always been diverse. I always like hung out with like diverse group of friends, and that's a pretty foreign concept here. And actually, to my surprise, like ever since I started the page, I've had conversations with a lot of Singaporeans, and yeah, it is kind of surprising to know that a lot of people don't really hang out outside their ethnicity.
Yeah.
And it's one thing I noticed in NS also, like a lot of people like to click up.
Yeah, that's true.
So, this topic of Chinese privilege, right? I have never at any point in my life
Experience.
felt that a Chinese person has gotten a better position over me solely because of his race. I've never in my life felt that way. But then again, this is like the blind man and the elephant, because the way I experience it may not be the same for others.
Yeah, right. That's true, I guess. Yeah.
Right. So here's the thing. Like from my experience, I've never felt such way, and I can understand. I mean, I've not entered the working. I've not entered the working sector yet, so maybe there might be stuff there. I don't know. Like I said, I've never felt that way before. Like NS. I mean, here's the thing. Is those people who complain, right? I have friends who complained about this kind of thing before, but I would say that these guys are my friends, but in the end, they are underachievers. They are lazy, and they like to shift the blame on everything else.
Right.
So yeah.
I think the term you're looking for is attribution bias, right? Where they seek to blame their failures on something else to make themselves feel better.
Yes, exactly. A lot of these people. I mean, for me, I won't shy away from saying the fact that I work hard to get where I am. I mean, if something happens, I know that it's my fault, and I accept it and I move on. If something happens that's out of my fault, that's when I have trouble accepting it. But so far, everything's been all right with me, and that's one thing I can say. Like I've never blamed my race for anything for any negative thing that's happened to me. So yeah.
Okay. Next question then. Do you support BLM?
Yes, I do. I mean, like, Black lives obviously matter. But then again, what I do not support is the violence surrounding it.
So the riots, the fires.
Riots and all that.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you support going green for the environment?
Yes, I do support going green. But I should note that I will although I try to make personal changes like, avoiding palm oil and avoiding seed oils and just trying to buy sustainable stuff in the long term. I do like to point out that I do not support corporations openly calling us out. Like if I see McDonald's try to tell me that I can't have straws.
Yeah.
What about all the shady stuff that's going through with them? So it's like, environmentalism is an important thing, going green, but it should be a personal thing. I don't want to see. I mean, as much as I like to see corporations like encouraging me to go green, if they do not do it themselves, it's pretty hypocritical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you go vegan one day?
I have gone vegan before.
Okay.
This was in 2020, and I've gone vegan a couple of times in poly.
Right.
So there's two types of veganism I've done. I've done the typical one where I substitute meat with meat substitutes, and another one where it's strict vegan, so no meat substitutes and just it's similar to the diet of the Jain people where they do not eat anything that's from the roots.
Yep.
And yeah, I have gone vegan before, and I would not do it.
Okay.
Because at that point of time, I was trying to eat a high protein diet, and let's just say that my stomach didn't take well to that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Pro-life or pro-choice?
Pro-choice, but hear me out, alright? I believe that abortion should be the last thing a person should consider. So I would like to have like these pro-choice clinics, right?
Yeah.
To go through all the options that a person may have, like all the support networks and all that. And if really, really nothing works out, then abortion may be considered.
Okay. Is immigration a good or bad?
Immigration is good. Yeah, immigration is good, but it'd be nice if like in the case of India, right? A lot of their brightest minds, they go overseas and settle their talents there. But what would be nice if these minds, they go work, they broaden their horizons, and then they come back to build the infrastructure back home, that kind of thing. That'd be something good. Maybe governments can encourage it, that kind of thing.
Right.
Like if someone wants to search for a brighter future, go ahead, man. That's what life is about, right? Like, getting tied to your roots shouldn't restrict you from becoming someone that's better, seeking a better future for family and all that. You shouldn't be restricted just because you're tied to your roots.
Yeah, but I guess what you're trying to say is also don't forget them.
Yeah, don't forget them, and if you can help out, just do it, man.
Do you think that girls have more privileges than boys?
Only on dating apps.
Okay. Are you?
Yeah, but sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, girls are more privileged than guys. I've never felt that way before. My views might be pretty biased, because I'm just telling stuff from my point of view, like stuff that I've personally experienced, and I've never felt this privilege because of my penis, I've had the same opportunities as girls, maybe except on dating apps, because obviously there's the whole one
Marketing,
girl to 100 guys kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Otherwise, no, I never felt that way.
Are you vaccinated, and do you think it should be mandated?
I am vaccinated, but because it's forced in NS.
Oh. Wow.
In a sense, but I guess it's your choice. I can understand. Even if I had, but yeah, mandation is one thing, because this is a pretty touchy topic because I'm not really offended by anything, but seeing all the riots. I won't say riots, but all the hoo-ha that's caused online about the vaccination thing. I can see the importance of it and all that, but I really want to hear the opinion of those who are opposing vaccination.
The other side, right? That the media doesn't tend to show much.
Yeah, it's just the thing. You see the way that the media keeps keeps leading into the vaccination and all that, but I just want to hear the other side. Because in my opinion, media should be neutral. Alright, they should just list the facts. But then if they are out there parading the vaccine, I definitely think something's up.
Have you seen Joe Rogan's podcast where he invites guests to kind of give an alternative view on it?
Yeah, I've seen a few of them. I've not watched most of them, especially recently. I haven't caught up with them.
Right, but as in after leaving Singapore and coming here, I realized it's much more polarized over here. Like I'm not sure if you've seen in the news, like 2 3 months ago there was a protest against the lockdown, protest against the vaccine. They protest about anything, man, over here.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Dude, I live next to next to a busy road, and it's always protests there. Sucks, man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
How much do you think the government should be allowed to conduct surveillance on its citizens?
Uh, okay, like beyond the basic, I mean, beyond, I can understand the reason for surveillance, like ISD. They conduct stuff against like terrorism and
Terrorism.
all that.
Yeah.
And like I come from SPF, so I can understand the meaning behind it, but I guess the thing, it really comes to a point of security versus privacy.
Yeah.
Like, would I feel more secure knowing that the same people who watch my text messages also do so hoping that I'm not a Taliban or something?
Mm.
So yeah, like surveillance is a necessary evil, but then again, I still believe there should be. I still deserve my own privacy, right? Like I don't want people listening to what I talk to about my friend.
Or Pornhub such as history and all that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing, but like the most importantly is that uh, sometimes recently a meme page, right? A Singaporean meme page. I won't mention who, but they got detained by IST because they keep sharing all these stupid ass memes, and
Serious?
apparently it got flagged up.
Oh wow. It's not the one I'm thinking of, right? It's not the SMRT page, right?
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh wow, okay. That's new. I've never heard of that, but damn.
Yeah.
Capitalism or socialism?
Uh, Capitalism or socialism? All right. I guess think in theory socialism sounds great, right?
Hmm.
But in practice, it's just awful. I mean, like socialism works great, but human nature favors capitalism.
Keep or abolish capital punishment?
Abolish capital punishment. Like, yeah, abolish it. Not a fan of it. But then again, uh, yeah,
Okay.
just abolish it.
Should we allow gays to get married?
Yeah, man, it's your life. Live your life as you please.
Do you believe that there are more than two genders?
Uh, okay, yeah. Here's here. Okay, so there's biology, sex wise is male and female, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, like if you want to identify as either, go ahead. But if you do not identify as like non, I believe there's male, female, and there's non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
Anything beyond that, I still gotta come to acceptance with it. I still gotta understand the culture and all that.
Right.
Like, why is there a need for a fourth one?
Mm.
Like, I can understand people who are non-binary, like people who fleet between them.
Yeah.
But I can't really. It's like 0 and 1. It's like 0 and 1, and there's the people who are between these two, and they will be non-binary.
Mm.
And what's beyond that, I got no idea. Like, it comes to a point where people are just seeking attention with these new terms, but hey, that's not up to me to judge.
Oh, spicy.
That's not up to me, man. It's your life, live it as you please. Yeah.
Should Singapore have a minimum wage?
Yes, Singapore should have a minimum wage. Like, it's terrible to see that some people have to work 2 jobs just to sustain themselves. So yeah, like it should have a competitive minimum wage. Like work, like I don't know. Back then, one of my friends, he worked at NTT and he was earning like $6 an hour. That's abysmal. That's not even a meal.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, and here's the thing. That's the thing. Like our government doesn't treat like being a cashier as a job. They just see it as a means to get by. Like sure, like people should. I mean,
Move
people
on.
should aim to go further, but some people, they have no choice, and it's pretty unfair for them to not be able to live decently off a minimum wage.
Coming off that, do you think governments should have stronger welfare programs or encourage personal responsibility?
In Singapore, definitely stronger welfare programs. Because here's the thing, like, we have been encouraging responsibility for long enough, but there are simply people who can't keep up.
Hmm.
And yes, welfare would be nice, but it would help to have them. It would help for it to be structured in a way that it can't be taken advantage of. Like in the States, people are just living on unemployment checks, playing video games all day.
Yeah, even in the UK too, though, I see that quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, it should be structured in a way people can't take advantage. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Most controversial opinion. Anything. No judgments. Go for it.
Most controversial opinion. Fat phobia doesn't exist, man. Fat people should be taxed. Or basically anything related to
Fat is healthy.
obesity. Yeah.
Beauty at every size.
Yeah, exactly. Beauty at every size, all that thing. Because, okay, here's the thing. I used to be a very fat guy growing up,
Same.
right?
Same. Yeah.
And I got fit recently, and let me tell you, it's a huge life changer.
Mm.
And basically, anybody who is telling another person not to get fit, it's basically the crabs in the bucket mentality, right? So yeah, it's like everyone should be aimed. Everybody in the world, right? They should aim to be the best version of themselves. And and people who keep saying shit like beauty at every size, that kind of stuff, it just irks me out because they're just encouraging health problems, diabetes, cholesterol issues, that kind of stuff. And recently I saw a post on Instagram that says that dieting is sexist or whatever. Like, what the hell?
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, fat phobia is valid, and it should be a motivator.
Best book or famous people that have influenced you?
The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus.
Okay. What's it about?
So the Myth of Sisyphus, right? A guy, a king, sentenced to pushing a rock up a hill for all eternity.
Yep.
Right. So basically, what the book covers is that how one should imagine the character Sisyphus as happy, because life is eternal suffering, right? I mean, not in an edgy way, but we're always working for something.
I see.
We are always trying to pursue something. We don't know. If we have a goal, once we reach the goal, what next? So, instead of having that mentality, we should always be
Always
working towards
advancing.
something. Yeah, we should always be working towards something, and from there we should derive pleasure.
Right. Okay.
Life is the journey, not the destination. And that's really hit me. I don't know, but once that realization hit on me, everything clicked in place. Like, holy shit, why am I complaining? This is the journey.
Right.
And I don't know, I know it sounds very cliche, but my life actually changed because of that book.
Okay.
It's like I've got my act together, and I started I started living for the day, in a sense, not in a doomer sense, but in the sense that every day is a gift, and this gift is, how do I put this?
Needs to be realized. Needs to be appreciated.
Yes, exactly. Every struggle I go through is going to make me a better person.
Right. Okay.
And I should be thankful for these struggles. No, I know it sounds like a very macho or a very pretty outdated way of thinking. Oh no, yeah, I should enjoy my troubles. But here's the thing: it is okay to be sad when shit hits you. But overall, if you look behind and see how much you've progressed, it is a nice way of looking at things. And then another famous book that's inspired me is and thus spoke Zarathustra by Friedrich. I do not know how to pronounce his last name. Nietzsche.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that guy. That edgy nihilistic guy. People like to quote.
Super nice.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing, like people miss the point of that guy. Like, in the case of and thus spoke Zarathustra, Nietzsche points out the Ubermensch, or otherwise known as the Superman in a sense. Basically, what every human being should try to be,
Hmm.
And it does highlight senses that what stuff that the shortcomings of a human being,
Right.
and how like no one can actually be the Ubermensch, but by trying our best, by being mentally and physically fit, be I wouldn't say it's being stoic, but in a sense, like you are above these problems,
Hmm.
in a sense. So yeah, it has given me a bit of insight into how I should live my life, and it did make changes.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, then what about like your top few topics that you're most passionate about or willing to debate?
Uh, all right, passionate. I mean, willing to debate. Definitely fitness.
Okay.
Stuff in the fitness industry. Like all the whole, the fat phobia thingy. Anything related to fitness, really. Veganism.
Okay.
So yeah, we had that conversation, and I don't know. In a general, life, country living, that kind of stuff.
Life versus country living?
Yeah, living in a city, like the shortcomings of living in a city.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
Nice. That was literally all the questions I had for you, man.
All right. So that's nice.
Yeah, just
And sorry if I sound like incomprehensible at times, with the way things are, and like I come from just a typical SG background, you know. So yeah, as if what I'm doing right now in the UK, I'm doing grad. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm just doing my undergrad, and I do MMA also, so hoping to make amateur.
you kind of cut out there. You're doing your undergrad in what again? Sorry.
I'm an undergrad in biomed.
Oh, biomed. Nice.
Yeah.